in about 12 hours and I miss Steve already. You want to feel closer to him? Mel asked, pointing to the counter. Sponge off the counter. Chapter 9. Incompatible Operating Systems. Steve Marsh flew in the next day. He was everything Vera had described. Tall, successful, and carrying the brisk energy of a man who measured life in nanoseconds. He sat at a booth in the diner, typing furiously into a portable computer that looked like a sewing machine case. Vera hovered over him, a tray of food balanced on one hand. "Yeah, that's right, Mr. Giller," Steve was saying into a large, brick-sized mobile phone. "This computer has a 16-bit microprocessor that can handle information in groups of up to 16 binary digits at a time." Vera blinked. "Well, see, now you're talking kilobytes." Steve hung up. "Okay, well, you think about it and we'll get back to you." He turned to Vera. "I'm sorry, honey, but, boy, once somebody gets me started on kilobytes, I just lose all track of time. Don't be silly." "It's fine," Vera said, placing a steaming plate in front of him. "Just sit down and try my shrimp curry with chutney. It is my specialty." Steve looked at the plate with alarm. "Gee, looks delicious. But I'm allergic to shellfish." "Oh gee, I didn't know that." Vera's face fell. "My face would swell and turn red, and I'd get all bumpy," Steve explained. "I'd look like a giant raspberry with ears." "How about an omelette?" Vera offered quickly. "You're not allergic to chickens, are you?" "No, that's fine." "I'm sorry, I know you went to a lot of trouble to fix the curry." "Oh, that's okay." "I'll have it for breakfast," Vera chirped. "For breakfast?" Steve asked, horrified. "Oh, I'm just no good in the mornings until I've had my chutney," Vera admitted. Suddenly, a beeping noise emanated from Steve's belt. He grabbed his pager. "Can I just use your phone?" "Oh, you bet," Vera said, leading him to the counter. "But don't you get tired of being beep 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 all the time?" "You kidding?" "Every little beeper brings more business," Steve said, dialing. "Vera, after we're married, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get you your very own little beeper. So no matter where you are or what you're doing, I can always beep you." Vera forced a smile. "Oh, I'll just keep my lips on hold." Steve finished his call and returned to the booth. "Honey, I know what we'll do tonight. I am going to take you to a nice Chinese restaurant." Vera hesitated. "Oh, I don't really like Chinese. How about Italian?" Steve suggested. "Well, I don't care much for Italian." "Mexican?" "Oh, I don't care much for Mexican," Vera admitted. "Greek?" "I never like Greek." "French?" "I don't really like French." "Except for fries," Vera clarified. "How about American?" Steve asked, desperate. "I could go for a nice big steak." "Oh, I'm not a big beef eater," Vera said apologetically. "Chicken?" "I love chicken cacciatore," Steve tried. "Well, I don't care much for Italian," Vera repeated. Steve stared at her. "Wait a minute. Didn't we just have this conversation? How about a movie?" Vera pivoted. "Well, You did? So did I." Vera's eyes lit up. "Finally, a connection. Didn't you like the acting of the special effects?" "Oh, the computer," Steve gushed. He was terrific. "Of course. That 9000 series would be all outdated now with silicon chips." "Hey, here's something you'll love," Steve continued, pulling out a small component. "The central processing unit of one of the new personal computers is inscribed on a silicon chip that's no bigger than a fingernail." "No kidding," Vera said politely. Then she heard a scratching sound from behind the counter. "What was that?" "Oh, my hamsters. Harold and Mitzi." "You have hamsters?" Steve asked. "Oh yeah. I put them over by the stove so they could pretend they were in the tropics," Vera giggled. "You don't like animals?" Vera asked, seeing his expression. "I don't know. I never really had a pet," Steve shrugged. "See, I was always more interested in machines. Things I could tear apart and see what made them tick." A silence stretched between them, wider than the Grand Canyon. "Steve, Vera said softly. I was just thinking that we don't know each other very well. We don't seem to have a heck of a lot in common, except we both graduated from Walton High, Steve offered weakly. Boom, alaka, boom, alaka. They both sat there, chanting the old school cheer, the hollow words echoing the emptiness of their relationship. Gee, I don't know how to say this, Steve said finally, cutting off the cheer. But I think we're going too fast. Do you really? Vera exhaled. Maybe. We just got all caught up in the romance of the reunion in Boston and the sponge exhibit, Steve said. Honey, how would you feel if we postponed the engagement? Vera looked him in the eye, relieved. Would you really? Me too, Steve smiled, a genuine smile this time. Really? Yes. Oh, Steve, you make me so happy, Vera laughed. Chapter 10. The Disengagement Party. Later that night, the diner was closed. Alice and Jolene were arranging glasses of cheap champagne on the counter when Vera and Steve walked back in. They had gone to jumpstart Mel's car, which had died in the parking lot, another victim of Mel's neglect. Mel, we're here to help the car, Vera announced. Wait a minute. What's going on? Mel asked, eyeing the champagne. Well, we wanted to celebrate your engagement while Steve is still here in town, Alice explained, popping a cork. I popped for the champagne. Santa Guanina Vintners. I just love Italian wine. You think this stuff's any good? Mel asked, inspecting the label. The best. It comes in returnable bottles, Alice assured him. Hey, congratulations, Vera. Vera cleared her throat. She and Steve exchanged a warm look. Listen, everybody, we have an announcement to make. You said the wedding date? Alice asked excitedly. No, Vera said. You eloped? Jolene guessed. Well, what the hell did you do? Mel demanded. We broke the engagement. The room went silent. Why? Alice asked, confused. See, we discovered that we don't have a lot in common yet, Steve explained. That didn't stop Chloe and me, Mel muttered about his ex-wife. I'm sorry, honey, Alice said to Vera. Listen, it's okay, Vera said, taking Steve's hand. It's not that we don't like each other. We like each other a lot. It's just, there are some things that he likes that I don't like, and some things that I like that he doesn't like. But I'm sure, in time, I could learn to like what he likes. Vera continued optimistically. Maybe he could learn to like what I like. It's okay, Mel. I understood her, Steve laughed. Well, I'm confused, Mel grumbled. Is this a happy occasion or not? Well, I'm happy, Steve said. And I'm thrilled, Vera added. Alice raised her glass high. Well then, what are we waiting for? Let's celebrate your disengagement. The toast was drunk, the mood light. Vera watched Steve leave later that night, not with a broken heart, but with the peaceful satisfaction of someone who had stepped back from a cliff just in time. She wasn't Mrs. Steve Marsh, the computer magnate's wife. She was just Vera. And for the first time since high school, that felt like enough. But peace at Mel's diner was always short-lived. A storm was brewing on the horizon, and it was arriving in the form of a suicidal electrician with a penchant for high drama. Novel title: The Chili and the Stardust, Part 3, Sparks and Ledgers, Chapter 11, High Voltage Heartbreak. The neon sign above the diner had been flickering for weeks, a staccato Morse code of neglect that read, Mel's. Nair. It was an apt description for the mood inside, where the air conditioning hummed a low, mournful dirge, and the customers were sparse. Mel was on the roof, engaged in a shouting match with Jolene, who was acting as his reluctant assistant. Hand me the pliers, not the wires, Mel bellowed, his voice echoing off the asphalt. I'm sorry, Zach and V, but somebody ought to learn to speak clearly, Jolene shouted back, wiping grease from her cheek. Suddenly, a new face appeared in the parking lot. He was a man who looked like he had been assembled from spare parts of other, sadder men. He wore a tool belt that seemed to weigh more than his personality. Hello there, he called out, shielding his eyes against the glare. Who is he? Alice asked, peering through the window. His face is familiar.